Hello Aries friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Aries July 2024 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. This is for you if Aries is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Aries placement you're listening for. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Aries friend, so birthdays like April 15th through the rest of the sign or 23 degree Aries placements through the rest of the sign, then I suggest you traditionally listen to my Taurus report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. I'm calling the theme of this month for Aries Stealth, Secrets, and Strategy, and I will definitely dive into what I mean by that. There are so many things that we have to talk about, so I'm going to take them piece by piece to help you make the most of this month. It is my intention to help you align with the natural rhythms of the universe instead of work against them, so things can be much easier for you. I have Aries rising, so I know very personally what it's like to have strong Aries energy. I also have a ton of Sag, so I'm a fireball, and so I get it. I get the things that we deal with. I know the kinds of graces that we have, and I know the challenges that we have as well. So all of this is from the perspective of my fiery eyes. All right, so I want to talk about some things that are a little more basic as far as general information, because this lays the foundation of the skeleton that I'm trying to weave for you. The skeleton is what helps us to move through life, and we can move through this month better if we build a skeleton of understanding astrologically. So each of the pieces that I give you, each of the layers, are going to be part of that skeleton so that you can move and flow better. And then I will be tying in the general information into the Aries chart specifically. Okay, so one thing to know is that we do have a lot of aspects this month, very busy month astrologically, so we'll be getting just a lot of action in the stars. More of those aspects are sweet compared to salty, so that's exciting. We also are still in a break from the Aries Libra eclipse cycle, which we are in the hot seat for that. So March, April, May, lots of life changes are happening. Since actually early 2023, we've had lots of life changes happening. It would make your head spin if you knew the things that have gone on between, the beginning of this cycle and now. I can't even process all of it myself, and I know many of you are in the same situation. So we still have another year of that eclipse cycle, and we have 2 more parts of that coming into the future. That next season will start in August. August, September, October are going to be doozies. They're going to be super intense. Hopefully amazing things that we want will happen. There could be other things that go on, but the thing to know for July is that it's not that time. So we may see hints of pieces of the ways that this ongoing, me versus we, Aries, Libra, eclipse storyline is occurring in July. We may get hints as to the more future manifestations. But this is a time to chill, and Aries really needs to do that, okay? We've got a lot of activity for Aries this year. After our eclipses start to get situated, we're going to have our ruler Mars go into retrograde towards the end of the year, and that's a long shadow period. So, as an Aries, we have just an extra lot going on at this point, but this month is like a little piece of respite if we let it be. Aries likes to be active. And, if you can let yourself be a little bit less active this month and a little bit more inward, a little bit more, connecting on the emotional level, then it will help to support this process. Now, especially the second, half of the month, because the first half of the month is going to be full of opportunities for the stars that are moving forward. Okay, so we're in an open period free from personal planet retrogrades just until July 17th. So if you have a big project, a big ambitious thing that you're doing, which Aries tends to have, if you have things that you want to do contractually, legal things, big decisions, big sales, big purchases, engagements, weddings, big trips, anything that you're trying to do that you want to carry far and wide, basically with the tides going out, the tides will be going out until July 17th, okay? So when you lock in that energy, it will lock in forward movement for the life of the project. Now, the things that you lock in July 17th and after are going to have the zest of Leo, which is a whole different exciting thing we have going on. But then the energies start to turn inward and backward, where we become the spider that waits in the web for things to come to us. Aries tends to like to go out and get the things that we need or do the things that we need to do. And until the middle of July, that is great. Go out and make everything happen. Then start to dial it back with every day, July 17th, it goes deeper. into the month and then into August, we're going to go into that inward space. Now, Leo will light things up for us, absolutely, and be inspiring and super exciting. It's a very exciting time of the year, the end of July into August for Aries, because we get the Leo trines, which is great, but it's all under the cloud of the retrograde. Okay, so we've got these dueling energies. It makes it really important to understand this. So even things like scheduling appointments, for necessary things, the first half of the month might be better for that, because scheduling nightmares start to get really intense when we get into retrograde. And what we want to do the second half of the month and on is leave ourselves open for last minute magic. We only have one more chance where we can come up for air from the retrogrades before the end of the year. And then just the second half of the year is covered in retrograde. So take advantage of that forward moving energy now is the point, okay, until July 17th. Okay, so let's see what else. All right, let's start to weave this other story. So we've got the Sun, Venus, and Mercury moving through Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. For us, it's also water moving through a water house, because an Aries has what's called a natural chart. So there are houses in astrology, which if you want the visual on this, by the way, I will drop it in at the end, and I will give you the okay, you sign off if you don't want the visual notice at some point. And then if you want to see what I'm looking at here, I will show that to you later. But basically, a chart looks like a pizza pie. It has 12 pieces in it, and those are all fields of experience we have as humans. So the planets move through these fields of experience, and they bring light and life and information and experiences as they dance across these different experience realms. So we have what's called a natural chart. So when something is in the sign of Aries, it's also in our house of Aries. When something's in the sign of Cancer, it's also in our house of Cancer. So, everything is doubly intense and doubly true for us. And so that is happening now. So the Sun and Venus and Mercury all going through water. So we got to break this down a little bit and look at a bunch of different dimensions here. Water is a quiet, stealthy energy. Okay, this is like behind the scenes. Aries may only have stealth in the way that we can be very quick to act, and then it's like all of a sudden we're on something. But as far as people tend to know we're coming in a certain ways because we're voicing our concerns and saying, I don't like that. Usually where you stand with an Aries. It's very rare that you don't know where you stand, because we tell people, like, I don't like you, or I do like you, or whatever it is, right? We tend to be pretty direct. But these water energies, they're more kind of passive. They could be more like passive aggressive rather than outwardly aggressive. They're internal. And this is like the quiet internal space. It's not the active space that we're used to. So we've got a lot of stealth and secrets and strategic energies that are kind of behind the scenes coming in at this time. You may be doing family planning for future things. You may be doing business planning. But there's this story of just like kind of drawing in and doing things behind the scenes with some stealth. And you may learn some secrets. Some secrets may come out at this time. Or things that you've been trying to keep undercover, a lid on them, might start to bubble out as well. So all of this is happening. Now, all of the water placements, what do they do to fire? They put it out. So this is something we have to deal with whenever we have, Pisces, Cancer transits, whenever we have Scorpio transits. This watery energy puts our fire out. Sometimes that can be very annoying. I know personally, when water comes my way, when I'm I'm lit up with something, it's really annoying, right? So you're going to have a lot of that happen. But if you know that ahead of time, then when it's happening, then you don't have to be shocked about it, because I already told you that that's what's going to happen. People could be naysaying, people could be trying to dampen your dreams, your vision, emotional things going on around you may stop you from doing what you're trying to do. You may have like a clear picture of what you're trying to do, and then all of this stuff needs attention in your emotional world, either through yourself or through other people. And that's what it's going to be like. Now, if you can embrace this time and appreciate it for what it is, you can really make a lot of nice family memories, or people that feel like family, or, just close people to you. You can really have a good time with this. But there is this element of pressure, because it is a 90-degree angle. And there is this element in some ways of maybe having to keep a little privacy and of employing some stealth and strategy. Okay, so And that may be involving family or in-laws or something like that, because there's something going on under the scenes, and either you're doing something behind the scenes or someone else is doing something. So it's a time to have your wits about you, have your intuitive feelers out, your gut feelers out, because, you know, something could be going on. And Aries tends to call like bullshit on things, right? We're kind of known for that. So you might have to do that here. You know, if something is just too much of a mess and you're like, oh my gosh, people, like, let's just talk about this. You may have to do that. And that might be what happens. It might be within your family. It might be somewhere else, but there is this energy of family, housing, homes, houses, you know, so some stuff is going on here. Now, it could just be that your family needs a lot of attention, or you're going on a trip with your family, or you're doing something with a house that requires work, but it's not a bad thing. It's just work. You know, and then you push through and you birth the new reality, and then that's exciting. But, you know, you want to get your secret stealth sensors kind of working here. The next thing that, while we're on the topic of the secrets and the stealth and the strategy, transiting Pallas Athena is moving through Scorpio, and that's another water sign. She's actually going to trine Venus, which is kind of cool. This could mean that someone is working behind the scenes for your favor, or this can mean that something you're doing with your stealth and strategy can work out really well. This could be, again, in-laws, family, government, you know, any place, your mortgage company. There's something going on with intangible realms, with the lesser seen realm, with the emotional realms that's going to happen. Now, if you need to have a business strategy or an inheritance strategy, you know, where you're setting up your legal will and different things like that, this could be a really good time to do that, especially before the 17th, when, you know, the energies are really clear. They're tending to get a little bit more murky as time goes on in the month. But, you know, there's something that wants to be kind of quiet and secret here. Now, interestingly about Pallas Athena, she's actually my favorite planet. She's an asteroid, but astrologers call everything planets. Don't tell Jupiter, my ruler, that I said that, okay? I call Pallas Athena a multi-goddess. She gets her fingers in a lot of pudding pies, and she really has some elements of rulership in a lot of different houses and a lot of different signs. She's not just in one place, which is part of why I really like her. She's really interesting. We don't talk about her a lot. But I do see that she has some rulership in Aries, which is something that you might not know. Not only are you ruled by Aries, the god of war, you're ruled by his sister, or Eris, also known as, right? You're also ruled by his sister, Athena, or Pallas Athena. And she is the strategist. So she will kick ass if she has to, and she has. And her father would put her to do different tasks, you know, mythologically, and she would do them. But she would rather strategize her way out of conflict than have it. Now, there are the occasional times she'd have to do something like turn someone into a spider if they're getting on her nerves. And so maybe you'll have to turn someone into a spider for getting on your nerves. But most of this, you know, is really involving, again, strategy. This is a quiet plan. Aries sometimes is off the cusp and, you know, will do things in the moment based on feeling, which, you know, and gut, which can be great. But this period of time, there is something specific about this, you know, Pallas Athena coming in, this quiet strategy, this behind the scenes thing, this emotional connection, this money scene, this intangible realm, this intuitive realm that's really requiring some attention now. But it's perfect. It's perfect energy because it is that way. And this can be something that you direct your fire, direct your energy, your obsessive nature into, is to kind of look into whatever's happening here. And you'll have hints about this. It's going to be different for different people. But, you know, just look a little bit below the surface and you'll start to see these things going on. It will have to do with relationships, deep relationships. It will have to do with money. It will have to do with houses, homes, family. Okay, now as all of that shifts, all right, while we're on that topic, actually, we do have 3 amazing aspects with Venus in Cancer, July 2nd, July 8th, July 11th. That whole period of time, these energies blend together, making pure magic. If you have to do something of importance that you want to be long-lasting, the days around the 2nd with Saturn can lock things in. If you want to do something involving ingenious ideas or sudden inspiration or exciting new technological things, the days around the 8th will be great for that. If you want to do quiet, intuitive, spiritual breakthrough, behind-the-scenes stuff, the days around the 11th could be good for that. And all of these are before the retrograde energies start to turn on the 17th. We do have more Venus aspects this month too, but I'm not going to go into them now because I have too much else to talk about. All right, so now as these planets move from Cancer into Leo, everything changes. So our little time of respite and quiet and behind the scenes and the quiet strategy and all that will start to erupt into this, Leo extravaganza, which is going to trine all of our placements. Trining is the most favorable aspect in all of astrology, and it moves through the sign of Leo, it moves through the house of Leo for Aries. This is zest and children and romance and our true love and our divine partner or dating. It's also whatever just lights us up. It's ruled by the sun, which is where we shine. This has to do with our passions and our hobbies, and I like to call it a bucket list house. So you may be doing some things you've always wanted to do from the end of July and into August. All of this energy will be very strong. This just blesses everything. You may find that you were literally on fire. Creative projects could be off the charts. You may find that you go back to something that you were super excited about in the past and you bring it to a new level of completion or work on it, because that's the combination of the retrograde energies bringing things back from the past and the fiery Leo. If you pay attention to the cycles, you may also notice that at the end of July into August every year, you may be especially prolific when it comes to creativity. You may be especially, like if you're a content creator, you may create a bunch of things. If you're a writer, you may write like crazy. If you are, an athlete, you may perform extra well. If you are, a fashionista, you may find you get brilliant ideas. If you're in the arts, you may find that you are especially prolific and that your work is, recognized at this time. So, it's a time that's really, really exciting. It's very different from those watery energies. It will encourage your fire rather than put it out. One of the things that is good about the water transits is that sometimes we need to calm down and we need to have some of our fire put out sometimes, right? Inflammatory based diseases can be, a thing with Aries, liver, gallbladder issues, just the heat, the aggravation can be a thing with Aries. Sometimes these water energies can just act as a soothing element for us. You may find yourself at the sea, you may find yourself involved with water things that are really fun and relaxing for you. And then the fire energy comes and it flares everything up again, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. But this is a nice angle. So, most of this should be really positive and helpful. Okay, so let's just talk about, so on the 5th, we've got the new moon in Cancer. That's also in your home. So if you want to make wishes around things that you want for your home and family and real estate and your inner world, the days around the 5th are good for that. Then we have a very exciting full moon. That's a blue moon on the 21st of July, also coinciding with a beautiful aspect with Venus and Jupiter. So these days around the 21st are power packed. There are 3 different definitions of what makes a blue moon. The definition that's relevant here is the 2nd full moon in a sign in a row. So Capricorn full moon in 1 degree we had on June 21st, July 21st, we've got the 29-degree Cap. Fullness, completion, fruition, possibly drama, for better or worse, coming to work, employment, career. Father figures could be a parent of any kind, but does tend to lean towards father figures. Authority figures, you as an authority figure. Maybe you have your work culminating here. Maybe you're going to run a promo. Maybe you reach a milestone. Maybe it's a retirement. Maybe you finish a project. Maybe your father needs something, or if you're a father or a father figure or a parent, maybe this is like a highlight of something, with that role for you. But this could be a really good time to do something, especially with a tilt to the past. I don't like it as much for launching brand new things that it's the only time you'll do it and, it wants to go far and wide, because the 17th things started to turn inward. But I do love it for things like a short-term promotion that is, for a shorter period of time. I do love it for projects that are intended to be short-term, or for ventures that are intended to be short-term. I do love it for going back into the past and doing something with people you already know, like offering something to people that you know in your business, or connecting with people that you already know. There's going to be a tilt to the past, but you can do something new with it as well. So this is going to be in the house of Capricorn, also for Aries, so this is doubly true. Now, because it is a late degree Capricorn placement, it's going to fizzle a little bit over into, the 11th house. So friendships, communities, things like that could also be relevant here. Okay, so now you have a good idea of the energies of this month. If you're interested in seeing the visuals, I'm going to pop them in a second. If you're signing off now, I'll see you next month. Before you go, make sure you subscribe, click the bell. If you are subscribed already, click the bell, because if you don't click the bell, my post won't go into your feed and I may be lost to you. So we want to keep you connected to the things that I'm posting. So subscribe, click the bell. Also go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in there to get my July 2024 astrology write-up. That will go into all of these other dates that I didn't have time to talk about, the Pluto oppositions, more of those Venus, beautiful Venus aspects, my sweet and salty dates. So go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in, get the welcome letter, go to the archive link in the welcome letter, put July 2024 astrology, and then that will take you there. Okay, sometimes you'll also get early content, being part of my VIP community, and you get all kinds of other goodies. All right, so I'll see you next month if you're signing off now. For those of you who want to see the visuals, I'm going to do that now. Okay, so for those of you who want the visuals about the things I just talked about, we've got the Sun, Venus, Mercury lighting up your 4th house of home and family in the sign of Cancer, which rules the 4th house and the home and family. So a lot of energy. This makes a 90-degree angle with Aries placements, which is a pressure angle. Pressure doesn't have to be bad. It can be the growing pains that we go through to birth something new, or it can be just like we're doing something exciting and it requires some work or a learning curve or something like that. The full moon that's going to happen, okay, so the new moon is also there, and the days are on the 5th. The full moon will happen in the 10th house, 29 degrees of Cap. Fullness, completion, fruition, drama to the things that we talked about there, but this is the location of the chart. This is the zenith of the chart where we are most out there in the world, besides the 9th house here. This is, the top of the chart. Then the stealth, this 4th, 8th, and 12th houses are the water worlds. These are the secret strategy stealth houses. I mean, we have strategy come up in a lot of different places, but the behind the scenes sort of thing, the quiet thing, the thing, looking behind the veil or doing stuff, without people really knowing, or private space, is ruled by these places. So we've got all this energy in the 4th house making aspects with these planets in the 12th house. Nice aspects too. Then Venus will also come to a later degree of Cancer and make an nice aspect with Uranus. That's where those surprises and things out of the blue. Now here's Pallas Athena trining Venus here, and those are some of the opportunities that we talked about there. I see Pallas Athena as one of the Aries rulers. So, from the perspective of strategy and strength and boldness. At that blue moon, full moon, or in the days around the 21st, we will also have Venus move into Leo and then make this beautiful aspect with Jupiter. So that's exciting as well. Later in the month, all of these Cancer placements turn into Leo placements and highlight our 5th house of Leo. True love, children, bucket list, creative efforts, inspiration, motivation, all of this. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in, click receive. Go to your inbox. Hopefully it's not in promotions or spam, but you could look there, get it into your inbox, go to the archive link, put in July 2024, get my sweet and salty aspect date and the details, as well as all kinds of other goodies that you get from being part of my VIP community, including sometimes early content. If you want to learn astrology and you resonate with how I teach, you can scroll down at anniehelpsyou.com and see Up Level, and you can see my Astrology Basics and Beyond course, or go bonkers and dive into deep learning. I've got over 100 modules in this astrology certification course. This certification is optional. You can do this for your own self-development and to help your friends and family. Or if you want to earn money as an astrologer, that is straight up my department. I can teach you how to do that. I've had many people start earning money just a short way into the course because of how I have it laid out. It really, is sequential and it builds upon each other. So if you want to earn money from your astrology passion as all or part of your income, I can teach you how to do that. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.